The Kabbalistic Tarot is a pictorial representation of the titanic forces of nature, and it demonstrates how those forces dynamically shape our lives. What we see in the Kabbalistic Tarot is no less than the same elements that we find within an astrological chart. And those elements are 3 qualities that exist within nature, 7 planets, and 12 signs of the Zodiac. 3 plus 7 plus 12 gives us the 22 Major Arcana cards. 3 plus 7 plus 12 gives us the 22 Major Arcana cards. So what this tells us is that those 22 Major Arcana cards are meant to hold within themselves and represent within themselves all of the forces of nature, period. And this is a part of why there are a lot of people, I don't actually know if this is why people do stuff, because I don't know how much people know, but this is a part of why I would believe many people give readings purely through the 22 Major Arcana cards, because the 22 Major Arcana cards are representative of these forces that from an astrological perspective are the very forces that have created this universe within which we live. The 3 qualities, the 7 planets, and the 12 signs of the Zodiac. And then from there, I just want to break down the cards 1 second so that you can see something. Then from there, we have our 16 sub-elements. How can I do this better? We have 22 Major Arcana cards, and that's how that's divided. Then we have 56 Minor Arcana cards, and the 56 Minor Arcana cards are divided into the 16 sub-elements or court cards, the four spirits of the elements or aces, and then the 36 numbered cards, which are also called the decans, right? So this is how we divide the Kabbalistic Tarot. We have 22 Major Arcana cards, 3 qualities. Those qualities are sulfur. Let's do it properly. Those qualities are Mercury, sulfur, and salt. As we know within Indian culture, these are known as sattva, rajas, and tamas. 7 planets. You know the 7 planets. We don't need to type them out. The 7 classical planets. Let's type them out. Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon. The moon is the moon in Hebrew. Mercury is Mercury. Venus is Noga. Sun is Shemesh, and interestingly, the sun is thought to be feminine in Jewish mysticism, and in Hebrew in general, it's Shemesh, or Chama, or Shemesh. Both of those are names for the sun. Mars is Ma'adim, Adim. Jupiter is Tzedek, which means holy or righteous. And Saturn is Shabtai. And then the 12 signs of the Zodiac. And I'm definitely not going to write out the 12 signs of the Zodiac because you know the 12 signs of the Zodiac. Okay? And that collectively gives us the 22 Major Arcana cards. And then from there are 56 Minor Arcana cards, the 16 sub-elements or court cards, in which all the kings are fire, all the queens are water, all the knights are air, and all of the, what's the next one called? All of the pages or princesses, how do you even spell the word princesses, are earth. So knights or princes. And so we have the King of Wands is fire of fire. The King of Water, the King of Cups is fire of water. The King of, what's the next thing? King of Swords is fire of air. Or you could think of it as the fiery part of the air element. And then finally, the King of Pentacles, which is fire of earth. And just as being a person who knows a little bit about astrology and a little bit about the elements and a little bit about life, you could look at that and know that of these kings, the king that is probably going to be less kingly or least kingly is probably going to be the fire of water king, because there is a complication there. We don't like fire and water to mix together. And similarly, the King of Pentacles may not actually be the fieriest king in the world, because fire and earth, earth smothers fire. And so there's something there that tells us that these two kings are going to operate in a way that's slower than the other kings. And then the queens, we have the Queen of Wands is the water of fire, Queen of Cups is the water of water, Queen of Swords is the water of air, and then the Queen of Pentacles is the water of earth. And you go down through them. And then the four spirits of the elements, the aces. So the Ace of Wands, I'll only do one. The Ace of Wands is called esoterically the root of the spirit of the element of fire. The root of the spirit of the element of fire. The aces represent the purest expression of the element possible. And then we get into the dirty expressions of the elements, or the mixed or the commingled expressions of the elements, which are now our 36 numbered cards, our Decanic cards, in which, for example, which card can I talk about? In which we have, what is that card called? The Two of Wands. So if the Ace of Wands is going to be the root of the spirit of the element of fire, the Two of Wands is where we actually begin this astrological association, where the Two of Wands is now going to represent Mars in Aries. Three of Wands is going to represent, what's the next one? It's going to represent Sun in Aries. And then we have the Four of Wands, which is going to represent Venus in Aries. What you all should know as astrologers is that this is basically the Chaldean order, isn't it? We see Mars, Sun, Venus. What's the Chaldean order? Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon. The cards in the Minor Arcana just go through that series over and over and over again. So let me see if I could pull up a diagram of this so that you have that at your disposal. Let's see, what is the specific thing I'm typing in? I'm typing in Minor Arcana cards, Kabbalah image. And usually there's this lovely circle that shows up where it has all of the cards in. I think this is probably going to be it. It isn't exactly what I wanted, but we beggars can't be choosers. Save image and save image. Okay, everybody, let's just take a look at this for a second. So here we have it. What is the Chaldean order? The Chaldean order is Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, and the Moon. Watch the Chaldean order take place again and again and again. Let's start here, for example, where we clearly have a Saturn. There we have, I don't like purple that much. There we have Saturn in Taurus. So which card is this? This is going to be we have the Seven of Pentacles representing the Saturn in the Taurus. Then we go to Jupiter in Gemini. Then Mars, then Sun, then Venus, then Mercury, then Moon. Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon. Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon. Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon. Saturn, Jupiter, Mars. Mars again. And this Mars, for me, is one of the greatest mysteries of Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon. And if you sit me down for 3 hours, I'll just talk about the Mars, because I think that that is one of the most special pieces of traditional astrology that few people really pay attention to, that doubling of Mars. I wrote about it in my book, Mastering Traditional Astrology. That, for me, I don't even need to give a tarot reading. I can just talk about that. So that's the Mars, okay? Or that's the Chaldean order. So people say, oh, Oh, Michael, you memorized so much stuff. I haven't actually memorized this part of the essential dignities table. I just know what the different signs of the zodiac are, and as a result of that, I also know the cards associated with each of those signs. And I don't actually have it memorized at all, but I do have in my mind that what is the name of the card? I do have it in my mind that the five of wands, for example, is Saturn in Leo. Therefore, I know what comes after that, Jupiter in Leo. So that's going to be the six of wands. And then what comes after that, Mars in Leo. So we'll go through talking about how to get that in your head if that's something that you want to have. But it's a very nice trick, and it's something you could do in your astrology practice.